Hello everybody and welcome to DevastationZone Troopers. So, recently we just finished an amazing game called Gorky Zero Beyond Honor, and that was actually a game that I played during my childhood. It's a very old game. I also had another game, and this is it right here. DevastationZone Troopers. Now you can tell why this game is obscure because the word DevastationZone Troopers is as one word, you know. You can already tell this game is trying to be unique. Well, let's find out how unique it is. By the way, getting this game to run is not as bad as it was getting Gorky Zero to run. Getting Gorky Zero to run on a modern PC system was a fucking nightmare, okay? But recording it was actually pretty easy. However, this game is the complete opposite. Running this game is no problem. Getting to record this game, however, is indeed a fucking nightmare, okay? Because this game cannot be recorded in full screen. I've tried 1,000 different fucking things on how to get this shit to record, and it just did not render. Every time I got a fucking black screen. So what I'm doing here now is completely scuffed because this game looks pretty okay right now to you, but to me, I'm playing this game in windowed mode. Now, that is very surprising considering this game does not have windowed mode settings. This game doesn't have any fucking settings. If you go into the video settings, all you can change is this over here. So, you know, whoever made this game, you know, was a complete master of coding, it seems, and that really reflects on all the options that you get on changing the settings and whatnot. But anyways, that's besides the points. As long as this game looks good, you know, on YouTube and to you, that's all fine with me. My experience is going to be a bit fucked because literally half of my screen is this game and the other half is my fucking desktop, so... But I can bear with that, you know? Now let's get into the actual fucking game. This intro's been too long. So, as we've seen in the intro, that I definitely watched, and definitely won't record afterwards and then overlay it as the intro, we're this guy right here. Totally not Doomarine, you know, beefcake over here with a fucking big-ass gun. Apparently we are a part of the Blue Star Alliance, and we've been sent to gather information. There appears to be an invasion of Rakais, which are attacking a planet, and now we've been sent to this planet to, I don't know, fucking protect it or something. I don't know, dude. This game doesn't really have much of a story. Because from what I remember playing this game as a kid, it was just like randomly generated levels, and the gameplay was pretty fun, to be honest, you know? You just go in, you just shoot shit up, and that's it, you know? But it turns out these levels are not randomly generated. They're actually like designed by hand, I think. It's just that there's so fucking many of them that you think that the game is infinite, you know? But apparently there's an ending, which I got to once. Maybe we'll get to it again. We'll just be on medium, you know, because playing on easy makes me seem like too much of a bitch, and playing on hard, I don't want this series to be any longer than it has to be, you know? So we'll just keep it on medium for now, right? Now here we can save our game. Don't mind all the shit that I already have saved, you know. I definitely didn't play this game beforehand before recording. Now here's our equipment. This game is like a slight RPG where we can upgrade our weapons and shit. Most of this stuff is unimportant, you know. What you'll probably want to upgrade is this. This is a weapon that you'll be using for most of this fucking game, which is what I'm going to be using, you know. And this, because it's going to skip one of the intro to every single mission ever. You'll figure out why that's important later on. So, but first off, let's just start, you know. Let's just go into the first mission right here. This is a training mission, alright. You'll learn how to navigate a dropship. Amazing, can't wait. The Rakai have a very powerful surface-to-air interception technology, whatever the fuck that means. The only way to avoid casualties is to fly with space debris falling. Ah, yes. Star Wars, watch out, okay? This will prevent Rakai from targeting you. In order to follow the correct landing path and avoid detection, you must fly through dropship markers displayed on your HUD. You must collect at least 30%. During the flight, you may encounter mines. BSA dropship is a heavy-duty vehicle with good shielding. However, at this speed, you'll be able to absorb only a few direct hits. You may also encounter credit cubes, which look like this, you know, they look like Tide Pods, you know, very delicious. You might want to eat them. Anyways, let's start. And here you go. This is the intro to a mission. This is what every mission has before you actually start it. You start in this little cool Star Wars-esque ship, and you're flying down onto the surface. And I just got hit. Wow, amazing. So what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to catch these fucking like red circles and shit. You're supposed to get in them, and those give you like points or whatever, and you're supposed to like collect them to like successfully beat this intro part. I don't know if this is timed or whatever. It's not really that hard. You can't really fail this unless you like intentionally get hit by these fucking like red things that fall down, you know? You see I have the fucking mouse pressed down and I'm just like shooting shit, you know? There's no cooldown, so you can just keep this pressed the whole time, you know, and get these red markers and whatnot. And also you can collect these blue things, which are credits, which are your points, which is what you level up your items with. So we'll try to get as many as we can so we can get, you know, good weapons and upgrades and shit. I don't know if this game operates on God of War logic, where you can't get enough points to actually level up all your shit, but I think the points are pretty well distributed, so we might be able to upgrade all this stuff. We don't have to, but we'll see if we can. Anyways, here's the actual drop zone that we're approaching, and this is the actual gameplay of the game, right? Here you go. This is what the actual game looks like, and holy fuck, my mouse sensitivity is fucked all the way. Let me change that a bit. This changes every fucking time, dude. Even this shit is not saved, which I wouldn't be surprised in this game. Anyways, here we are. We're this guy. We're yellow Doom Marine, and we have 2 or 3 weapons right now. We have this regular machine gun that shoots shit, right? And we have the missiles, which you have to have ammo for. This thing just has a cooldown, right? And we also have a secondary attack, which is whatever the fuck this is. You know, we just shoot like a Dragon Ball Key Blast, right? So let's see if there are any objectives. No, there are not. At least I don't see them on screen. At the bottom left there's a fucking mini-map, which you can see stuff happening, the distance to how far your objective is. These gray things are stuff that you can pick up, such as these credits, right? And the red things are your objectives. On the left, or on the right, is your health at the top, and then at the bottom is the ammo. Now, you might notice these green barrels with a toxic sludge in them or whatever, and yes, if you shoot them, they do indeed explode. One thing I'll give this game is that the environment actually looks pretty okay, you know, for a 2006 game, the environment doesn't look that bad, you know? And you can also press spacebar to change your orientation, you know, you should be playing the game like this because you can see more shit this way. For example, like that, there's a dude in there, trapped in this little hole or whatever, and he's the guy we have to kill, you know? By the way, pretty much everything in this game is destructible, even the environment, you know? Like, these things explode, you can even, like, blow up these trees. And you can, like, destroy the grass as well. There are very few things in this game that you cannot destroy, such as your dropship and rocks and, like, this energy wall here, but, you know, we'll get to that later. Anyways, let's go in here. There's this dude that we have to kill. He's our objective on the minimap, on the red. Let's see if I can sneak up on him. You know, as you'll figure out very soon, the AI in this game is absolutely phenomenal. And I just blew his ass up, and I also got hit with the fucking the barrel that just exploded next to me. Alright, so I couldn't read what the fuck was on the bottom or the top right there. I hope you read that yourself, because I was talking. What we just picked up right there, that was health. Stuff that like gives you shit is usually in red. Green is always credits, and stuff that's in red is like ammo or health or whatever. And now this is a key card, right? Doesn't fucking look like one, but apparently it's supposed to be. So if we collect this, as you can see, the shields on the top disappeared. Alright, now we have to go in that area and pick some shit up. Let's pick up more of these credits. There's also another red barrier over here. Now, these walls over here, we can get through them, but if we do get good enough weapons, we can blow it up. Not with this missile, though. We need better weapons to blow this shit up. So let me just pick up some of this health and get this red key card, and there you go. Alright, we get a shit ton of credits here. And now we touch this red thing, and that's the end of the level. Now we need to return back to the dropship and get on to the next mission. However, I won't be doing that because I've learned that there's actually a secret part of this level that's hidden away right over here, you know? The levels in this game are not gigantic, but they are pretty big. So this small-ass area that this game gives you for the training area is very small compared to the entirety of the level. So the developers hid a secret part of this level over here. So let's see if we go in here, we'll go to the extension of this level. Here we'll face a lot more enemies, and yep. Oh shit, I almost got shot there. You know, as you can see, the gameplay of this game is not very advanced, but you know, it sure is fun or whatever. The only thing that's fucking me up right now is my mouse sensitivity that's like fast as living hell, dude. But as you can see, this game is pretty easy, you know, you just like shoot the enemies and you fucking one-hit kill them, and that's about it, right? Anyways, let's go to this route over here. There's more peeps over here, just some more regular soldiers. There's some crates here, we can blow these up. Oh, they actually do give you stuff, wow. And there's some new enemies over there. We've only been facing soldiers so far, but now we have these fucking things. I don't know what these things are supposed to be. You know, I think they're supposed to be like space dogs or whatever, and they only have like a melee attack, so they're pretty easy to deal with. One thing this game also has is a complete assortment of enemy types. There's like hundreds of fucking enemy types in this game, which makes it a lot more fun to play and whatnot. So let me just go in here, fuck these dudes up. Oh shit. Let me just shoot these motherfuckers up. There's a lot of like barrels here, so you can kill these motherfuckers with, so, you know. You probably put those there intentionally, right? And of course, yeah, it's so good. These motherfuckers do not move out of the way whatsoever. Then again, they are the basic kinds of enemies, which is what you'll be facing during the beginning parts of this game, but later on you'll get more threatening enemies and whatnot. I think that's it, actually. Let me just blow the route over here. I don't think there's anything else in this level that's hidden away, that's a secret. I think the rest of this level is just a bunch of, like, environment shit that doesn't really have anything. See, this right here, these rocks, this is the edge of the level. The levels in this game are basically just one big cube, and the edges of this cube are these big-ass rocks, you know? And we're essentially playing this game essentially is Minecraft, you know, except without blocks. If we go like to a corner over here, you'll see that this is indeed the edge of the map. So, yep, there it is. There's the corner, and is basically what the maps in this game are. You know, it's just one giant cube of rocks. So that's kind of it for this level, I think. So we're just gonna go back to our dropship and end the mission. And let me just blow this shit up. There you go. And we touch the dropship, and that's it. That's the end of the level. And now we're returning to base, and we'll go back to the menu. Alright, so as you can see, we got some credits from that. And let's see what we can get now. The plasma upgrades, or this third weapon slot, is the most valuable weapon in this game. This is what I'll be using, this is what we'll be upgrading. Unfortunately, I don't have enough points to buy it yet, so I'll just go to the next mission. Now, as you can see, before we only had one mission, but now we have 3 of them unlocked. When you select a mission, you'll get like a specific stats of the mission. So, for example, the enemy power, there's 5 different ranks. These ones are rank 1, this one's rank 2. And you also get where the mission is located. That doesn't really matter, it's just the environment colors and the amount of rewards the mission gives you, right? For example, these briefings aren't really that important because usually the objectives of these missions are just to get to a certain location, get some sort of keys, or just blow something up, you know? It's not really that important. You can read these if you want, but I'll just go on this one for now. The enemy power isn't that high, and it does give more credits than the other one, so let's start. Alright, we have to do the fucking dropship thing again. These dropship things are kind of like an unimportant part of the game, but they are required before you start any mission, right? Well, there's negatives and positives to it. Holy shit, I'm getting hit. These dropship missions do give you extra points if you collect these credits, but they also prolong the game time. You can actually disable these permanently if you buy a specific upgrade in the shop. Now, for the sake of trimming down this series, I will buy that upgrade as soon as I can, just so I don't have to do all these fucking dropship missions, because, you know, all of them are the same, they don't really add anything to the content, so I'll just like get the upgrade and not bother with it, right? So now we'll get the last thing and we'll start the actual mission itself. There you go. Alright, there we go. There's 3 objectives on the map this time. So let's see here. Oh shit, there's another enemy right there. As you can see, this spinning fucking thing is almost the same as the fucking space dogs, except it's very fast and it goes in a circle. So that thing is very dangerous as it is very fast. It can catch you by surprise. Even if I played this game on hard, which I'm pretty sure I did at some points, the game is very not that difficult. In fact, this is probably one of the easiest PC games I've ever played. Even on the hardest difficulty, it is very easy, which makes you feel that more of a badass, you know? This character that you're playing as, He's very fucking powerful with the amount of shit, like the weapons that he has. Holy shit. Okay, these motherfuckers just spawn in there, as you saw, because there's actually like hidden traps in this game. There's like small ass icons that are kind of transparent that you can't really see. And if you touch them, it will spawn like a bunch of enemies around you, so you gotta watch out for that. Now, my credit score on the top left there, I think it does increase with the more enemies you kill. Yeah, right there. So the more enemies that you kill, the more points or credits you will get. Now, getting the blue credits will give you the most points, but killing enemies... Oh, shit! And killing enemies and also collecting these cubes and shit will give you points as well. So I'll just try to get as many of those as I can. I think blowing shit up also gives you points. Like blowing up crates and shit. As you can see those over there. There's a lot more enemies there as well. They will increase a lot as we go through the game. Now you can see I just blow that motherfucker up with the rockets. Which I don't have a lot of, but it does do more damage. Now these things... Oh! These things are turrets, and I just fucking missed. Wow. Holy shit. These things cannot move, but they do a lot more damage, so... Holy shit, dude, I'm getting fucked up. As you can see, my health is still pretty high, because you don't get fucked up that often. Can I hit it? There you go. Okay, now, as you can see right here in front of me, there's this little fucking transparent icon, and this is a trap. This is what I touched before. If you touch this thing, it'll teleport a bunch of enemies around you like this. See? If you touch these things, if you touch them, they're traps, and it'll just spawn a bunch of enemies around you. Now, sometimes that can be a good thing because it does give you extra points, but it can also fuck you over if you're already getting gangbanged by enemies, and you touch that, it'll transport even more enemies, and you'll probably get overwhelmed and fucking die, right? Now, what I just blew up over there was one of the objectives, and it was a big-ass, like, missile launcher, and, well, you didn't really see it because it was weak as fuck, and I just blew it up, so, you know. Alright. I think I killed pretty much everybody in this area. And now we'll move on to the next one. As you can see, there's enemies like, holy fuck, yeah, these things, these spin things, you gotta watch out for them, because they melt throughout the environment, you know? They're one of the few enemies that can travel through the environment and go through it just like you can. Damn, dude. Mostly there are a lot of enemies near those important objectives, but they're also spread all throughout the map, you know? And we're gonna shoot these motherfuckers up, you know? They don't know I'm coming. There's gonna be a sneak attack, but there is a lot of them, so I might get fucked up. Boom, there you go. Damn, that guy just got shot by his own fucking teammates. That can happen in this game as well. There is friendly fire, but it's not really important because, you know, these enemies are weak as fuck anyway, and you're not gonna be betting on the enemies to kill each other. Now, as you can see there, right? Let me give you a better look at that artillery thing. It's just like a bunch of fucking like artillery rockets and whatever. Those are the things we have to blow up in this level. So let me just get through these enemies. Again, this is one of those power fantasy games where you can just like go in and just tear shit up, you know? With especially how powerful you are in this game, you don't really have to worry about your health or whatever. You can just go in and like that. Yeah, you can just go in and fuck shit up, you know? Even the damage that I'm taking when I am getting hit is very minuscule. That wouldn't really change a lot even if I was playing on hard, so... Alright, let me just pick up all these cubes, and then we'll go to the last objective and end the mission. Damn, dude. Also, those spin things, when you destroy them, they do explode, and they, you know, do a little bit of AoE damage. One thing I will give this game is that the controls are pretty polished, you know, outside of the mouse sensitivity that's fucked all the way, you know. You do have a lot of freedom of movement, which is very nice, you know. Then again, if you're gonna sacrifice the fucking amount of settings in this game, for example, not being able to change the fucking resolution in-game and not even be able to have this game in windowed mode, I suppose the controls being smooth is warranted. Let's see it. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. Damn, dude. Alright, there we are. It's the next area, and the last objective. Let me just blow that fucking thing up. Oh, damn. See, enemies can very quickly gang up on you in this game because Damn, dude, my aim absolutely sucks. Because there's a lot of them spread out the map, and they can, like, alert each other. If you, like, start shooting motherfuckers up, they will, like, get alerted and, like, you know, try to get to you as much as their AI will allow. You know, it's not like this is peak gaming AI, you know. It is very, I mean, it's not bad. It's not as bad as, like, it's not on Gorky Zero level of shitty AI, but it's not anything to write home about, so, yeah. Alright. Damn, dude. The enemies in this game really do depend on their sheer numbers to overwhelm you, you know? Not the actual quality or, you know, dangerousness of a singular enemy. If there is a lot of, like, strong enemies that gang up on you, though, that's a problem. But just, like, you know, a handful of enemies, like a few dozen ones, like right now, there really are no danger. Alright, let me get you a close-up of this thing now. Not that it matters, because we just blew it up. And now we can get back to the dropship. One thing to mention as well, enemies do respawn in this game. You know, if you kill the enemies and then leave and then come back, then they will respawn. But if you just stay in the same area for a long time, enemies won't respawn there. Sometimes that's a problem later in these missions when they start to get timed, you know? I'm just taking my time right now, as you can see, like killing all the enemies, getting all the shit, you know? Those missions can kind of fuck you over, because you'll be like getting through all the enemies and trying to kill them, and then backtracking back to your ship, which is what you have to do in every mission in order to complete it. That is where the new enemies will spawn, and it'll probably hinder your progress and make everything go a lot slower. Alright, that was mission 2. Let's see how many credits we got. I think we have enough to upgrade our weapon. Yes, we do. It is 11,000, and we just bought it. Alright. Now, as you can see, the missions changed around here. The one that was down here is now up here. This is still the first one, and this is the other one that we didn't select. I'll do this one. It is the easiest. I'm not doing it because I'm a bitch, but I am doing it just so I can get it off the map, you know, because when you do complete missions, you do unlock new ones, so next, I will be buying the dropship upgrade, which makes you skip all these dropship segments at the start of every mission. Alright, we're almost there. Let me just get a few more credits and the dropships, and then we'll be able to start the level. Alright, this level looks a bit different. I think there's like 3 styles. There's like a red color scheme, this one is brown, and I think there's a green one as well. There could be more, I don't know, I'm not really sure. In this mission, we have to, I don't know what the fuck we have to do, you know? I'm not really reading these, oh fuck, that shit just exploded. I'm not really reading these briefings because, again, as I mentioned before, they're not really that important, you know? Usually what you have to do in these missions you just go in and you tear shit up. And as you can see, this here is a new enemy, you know? And I just switched over to my plasma thing, so here's what it looks like. It's like a triple blast that's blue, you know? And it is very powerful, very good, you know? And it gets even stronger as you upgrade it, which is what I will be doing. And that new enemies you saw there was like a yellow tank or whatever. And the most enemies in this game are like different iterations of like sci-fi tanks, you know? There's like a blue tank that has like 3 things protruding out of it. There's like an orange tank, this one that's yellow, there's like a white variation of it. This game does have a lot of unique like character designs, you know, or, you know, enemy designs rather, because I don't think you'd call these things really characters. They're more so like, you know, vehicles and troops and shit, and turrets, and whatever the fuck these things are. The objective of this mission is to just reach this point, and then I think we just go back to the dropship. Oh no, we actually there's multiple of them. So sometimes the objectives of these missions will be to blow something up, like in the last mission. Sometimes you'll have to collect something, and sometimes you'll just have to enter an area, and that's it, you know? For example, in this mission, we just, like, go to this area, touch the ground in a certain spot, or move there or whatever, and move on to the next one. Also, one thing that is very apparent in this game is knockback. Every enemy, when they hit you, they knock you back. Enemies shoot you from 2 different directions, they'll knock you back into each other. Which means that if you're getting shot from the front, you'll be getting pushed back. And if you're getting shot at the back at the same time, you're getting pushed to the front, which means you'll just be stuck in the same place getting shot back and forth, you know? There's a little trap here, you know. Sometimes I notice those things, sometimes I don't, you know. If I don't notice them, I usually touch them and, you know, then the enemies spawn in. This area has a shield on it, which we can't get through, and we also can't destroy these walls yet, so we'll have to find a key card to open this. Now, enemies can go through this, though. Obviously, I just touched the trap there. Enemies can go through all these, like, energy barriers and shit, but you can't unless you blow up the walls. And if you blow up the walls in a certain spot, for example, if I blow up these things right here, which I can't do yet, but if I do blow it up, these shields will disappear. But there are some areas in this game where there are shields protruding from the ground, which means you can't destroy the walls to get through them. You have to actually find the key cards to get through them. Holy fuck, the enemies are ganging up on me. And the key card is right there. There it is, the blue one. Let me just grab that and touch this thing while I'm at it. Holy shit, as you can see, yeah, when there's a lot of enemies shooting at you, you do get knocked back around a lot. So this thing just opened up. Let me go in here and collect all my shit now. This is another new environmental object over here, a new building, which is this big fucking satellite or whatever you want to call it. Let me blow this fucking thing up. Again, it's not really an objective, but it does give you points. And even blowing shit up in general, everything, well, pretty much everything in this game does give you points. If I blow up these crates, my score on the left increased, and also these barrels increase your points. So there really is an incentive to just like go in and like destroy everything you can and collect everything you can. Alright, let me just go in here and kill all these motherfuckers. And again, the weapons in this game are very powerful. You can just go in, shoot all these motherfuckers and just blow shit up. Even tougher enemies that appear later on in the missions go down very fast. There's not really bosses in this game. I don't think bosses are even a thing in this game. There are different enemy types that are considered more powerful, but even they go down pretty easily. And boom, big explosions. Alright, let me just touch this thing, and I think that's it. Yep, now I can go back to the dropship and end the mission. Alright, I'll have to bust through this again. This AP weapon, oh damn, this AP weapon is the most useful for like shooting through the environments, as it is really fast and the cooldown on it is very fast as well. Alright, and here with the dropship, and that's it, there you go. Alright, as you can see, we got a lot more credits. I don't think I have enough for the dropship upgrade, do I? Oh yeah, I do. So this autopilot thing, if you buy this, it essentially disables the dropship minigame at the start of every mission. Now if you do buy it, that disables the dropship minigame permanently. You can't get it back, you can't disable it, it's just gone now. So, also, some of these missions give you upgraded stats. You'll get Class 2 AP Laser and Class 2 Missile Launcher, which essentially means you'll get free upgrades for this mission only, even if you haven't bought those upgrades in the shop itself. So let's do this mission right here. Usually these upgrades are very minuscule, like for the first and second weapons. I don't think there's any for the third and fourth weapons. And as you can see, we just started this mission just like that, you know, we didn't have to do any dropship minigame like we did in the previous ones. Now let's see what the objective for this mission is. Usually in the missions, this game will spawn you away from your objective, so you actually have to travel to them more often than not. And also, the more you upgrade this weapon, this plasma cannon thing, it will give you more shots that spread out. For example, mine is at level 1 right now, and it only has 3 shots. If the more you upgrade this, the more of these projectiles will shoot. I think there's like 6 and 5, and the final upgrade is just like spreads like all the way, you know, like complete 180. Like there's like 9 shots that just shoot out, and it is very cool and very powerful as well. Oh damn, that dude just got shot by his own fucking like turret friend. And this area is very protected with that key card there, but that's not a problem for me, as I can just go in and shoot these motherfuckers up. One thing in this game though is a consequence of the the mouse sensitivity, because the collision of these enemies is sometimes very fucked if the projectiles of your weapons are very small. For example, this missile launcher, you see, it just went through that thing. You have to really shoot at the center of these things. Of course, the more we upgrade our weapons and the more projectiles we unlock, for example, with this weapon, it'll have more projectiles, so we don't have to really worry about aiming. We can just shoot wherever the fuck we want, you know? Damn, see, I just missed that fucking thing. I hope the audio of this game is not too loud, because I can barely hear myself talk as all this shit is blowing up, by the way. Throughout most of this game, there will be shit that's just blowing up, and there's a lot of explosions happening and everything, so I do hope this doesn't ruin the audio. So let's see what the objective is here. It's right in there. It's a pickup, right? This weird green thing is our objective, and we have to pick it up. And I think after we do, the only thing we have to do then is like get back to the dropship. So, and there is, your weapons also do AoE damage, which is very cool. You can just like shoot to the wall, and it'll just like blow everything next to it. It doesn't hurt you though, which is good, you know, because if it did, that would be very annoying. Oh, I just touched the trap. Alright, let's pick this thing up and end the mission, I guess. Oh no, there's multiple of them, okay. So, there's another one that we have to go to. We can't go through these walls, so we'll have to go around. Alright, let me just go through. You are also very fast in this game, so even if there is a lot of enemies and you're strapped for time, you can just run through most of them, you know? There's not a lot of enemies that can outrun you, with the exception of these spinning motherfuckers. Oh, almost touched the trap. Oh, damn. See, those spinning things can sneak up on you pretty fast as well, so you gotta be careful. Alright, where's this next area? Ah, see, there it is. It's another tower. Let me just do that. Shoot a thing in there, blow it up, and there you go. This game is not very hard. There's not a lot of thought and strategy that goes into this game. It's just to have fun, you know? That's all this game needs, you know? It doesn't need a riveting story, it doesn't need complex gameplay. You can just go in and shoot motherfuckers up, you know? And I think for this game, that's all it needs, you know? Alright. That's the second tower we blew up, and I think there's one more, and that's it. Oh, that was a trap. I just ignore those guys, they don't really matter. Alright, and there's the last tower. Let me go in there and fuck these dudes up. And there you go. I blew it up, and now we can return back to the dropship. Oh shit. Okay, I just touched the trap. Holy shit! And as you can see, these are new tanks. Holy fuck, dude. Yeah, these are new tanks. So, you really gotta be careful, because your health can really drop if you fall into a trap like that. Alright, I think we're pretty close to the dropship now. I think it's somewhere over here. Damn, these enemies absolutely suck, man. They really are the weakest enemy in this game. Now these tanks, a lot of these tanks in this game are very fast. The faster the enemy is, the less armor they have. But the slower the enemy is, they probably do have a lot more armor. For example, the turrets are completely stationary, and I think they have the most armor, which makes them longer to kill. Alright, let me just touch this, and that's it. Alright then. So that's the end of the first episode of DevastationZone Troopers, and I'll see you guys in the next one.